Hi everyone, my name is Grace and this is my mini stewardship presentation on Borneo, which is a large island in Southeast Asia. So first I'm going to talk about what is stewardship. And environmental stewardship is defined as the responsible use and protection of the natural environment through conservation and sustainable practices to enhance ecosystem resilience and well-being. And this is according to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. And they also explain that there are 5 different types of stewardship. The first one is restoration and protection, and this is defined as actions that assist in the recovery or preservation of an ecosystem that have been degraded, damaged, or destroyed. So, examples of this would be cleaning up litter, removing invasive plants, or restoring a habitat. Next is everyday choices, which is actions that reduce resource inputs and emissions per unit of output. So, basically, actions to reduce our carbon footprint, and this includes compost waste and food waste and monitoring your water use to save water. Next is community awareness, and this is actions that inform others in an effort to convince them to take action to address a community wide environmental issue. This includes sharing information about environmental issues through social media or posting flyers around your community. Next is civic action, and this is defined as actions that inform public or organizational policy decisions that can improve environmental outcomes for many all at once. Um, an example of this is voting for legislation. And lastly, they talk about stewardship science, which is actions that collect and report data in an ecosystem that informs management of the natural resource. So, when looking at the Franciscan values of diversity, optimism, respect, and service, many of these connect back to that, including um, community awareness, giving information, and trying to make changes, kind of be optimistic for your environment for the future, as well as civic action and everyday choices, obviously, service, um, trying to make changes to protect the earth. And from the reading this week, we learned that humans are not owners of the earth, but need to be stewards of the earth. And that means that we have a responsibility to the planet and need to care for it. This kind of means that we have an obligation as stewards to respect our environment and be caring and compassionate. So, going back to respect, our Franciscan value. And we also want to work towards keeping the environment clean and healthy. And we also want to be optimistic for the future of our environment. So, next, I'm going to talk about my stewardship location, which is Borneo. It's one of the largest islands in the world, which is located in Southeast Asia. It's not owned by any specific country, it's politically divided between Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. I believe it's 74% or 75% owned by Indonesia, and any policy decisions made um, can, that have to do with Borneo are usually done in Indonesia. What makes Borneo special is that it's home to one of the oldest rainforests in the world, the Borneo rainforest, which is estimated to be 140 million years old. And it is also home to many different endangered species, and um, it is also home to the largest palm oil plantations in the world, and they make up most of the manufacturing there. The risks to Borneo include illegal logging, which is done to create these palm oil plantations, and forest fires are also a big risk to Borneo. So, some actions being taken. Indonesia has passed different legislation, including issuing permits for the use of natural forests in Indonesia. Also, establishing the International Tropical Peatland Center in 2018, which was meant to study the conservation and restoration of the forest in Borneo. So, this is all country wide like legislation that was passed to help Borneo and their conservation efforts. We also have traders and producers of palm oil have pledged to eliminate deforestation from their supply chain through different initiatives. And this is really important because Borneo makes up most of the palm oil manufacturing in the entire world. So their pledge, if they stick to it, should make a huge difference in that. It's also important to note that Borneo does have one of the highest deforestation rates in the entire world. And as of 2017, half of its forest cover remains today. Only half is left, which is down 75% since the mid 1980s. So, in a short time, a lot has happened there, but they are working to get it back to its original state, despite it being home to these massive palm oil plantations. There are also a lot of private organizations that go in and work to preserve the land there. So, analysis of actions taken. The companies that have pledged to eliminate deforestation and their production they make up 74% of internationally traded palm oil. So, their efforts to eliminate deforestation should make a difference in the environment there. And then, according to the UN Environmental Program, by 2017, there was a decline in plantation expansion and clearing of forests for the creation of plantations, which is now at its lowest since 2003. So, there are improvements being made, but there's also a lot of work to be done. But hopefully, more actions will be taken in the future.